Investors looking to cash in as the price of Bitcoin has soared, but it's also led to a rise in hackers taking over and draining accounts, leaving those investors with little recourse. Many customers of Coinbase, the country's largest exchange, where they can buy and sell cryptocurrency, are taking aim at the customer service department there, saying Coinbase has left them hanging. Eamon Javers now with a CNBC investigation, Crypto Nightmare.
Tanya and Jared Vidovic discovered cryptocurrency through Tanya's coworker a few years ago, and they thought the boom that attracted so many investors would give their young family a financial leg up.
It was going to be a way to retire and be secure.
So the Florida couple started buying Bitcoin and Ethereum using Coinbase, the largest U.S. cryptocurrency exchange.
So how did it go at first?
Up until recently, it was great.
But earlier this year, the Vidovics say their account was hacked. Their investment, which had grown from a total of about $45,000 to some $168,000, was essentially wiped out, going down to $587.
I sign into my computer and I see a ton of security alerts, password changes, everything. And then I signed onto the crypto and I said, it's gone.
To their astonishment, they say they couldn't get anyone from Coinbase on the phone, just email. It turns out they weren't the first investors to have that problem. More than 11,000 complaints since 2016, mostly related to customer service, have been filed with the Federal Trade Commission and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And the Better Business Bureau, in an alert, says Coinbase has not responded to a pattern of complaints from consumers who state they are locked out of their accounts even after providing required information or updates, and customers have difficulty reaching the company.
This not only was our future, this is my kids' future too.
You wrote them and said you lost $170,000 and they didn't call you back?
No, they still haven't.
Here's how the crime often works. Hackers get into the victim's phone and redirect texts and confirmations to themselves and respond as if they're the victim, giving them access to the crypto accounts. Tanya's last communication with Coinbase came in late May, when Coinbase gave her back access to her account after she was locked out for a month.
There was always a struggle with customer service.
Former Coinbase part-time customer service employee Jason Rose says the company's customers needed reassurance in taking the plunge into crypto.
They need that touch of somebody being there while they're going through this complex transaction.
Rose worked at Coinbase from 2014 to 2016, and he says the company was phasing out live chat.
The decision to do that was disastrous because the time that it took to respond back to emails took a lot longer than it would for a live chat.
Unfortunately, most people who contact me would tell you it's poor customer service.
David Silver, an attorney who specializes in cryptocurrency cases, represents the Vidovics.
And they're being almost victimized twice.
While the company was happy to go on camera to talk about its IPO and its earnings, it repeatedly declined to sit down for an interview on customer service. Instead, sending a statement saying in part, "We grew from 43+ million users at the end of 2020 to 68+ million registered users as of June 30th, 2021. Through all of this growth, some of our customers unfortunately experienced challenges and delays reaching our support team." The company would not disclose the number of accounts that have been taken over, but a spokesperson said only a small number, less than 0.01% of our customers, have been impacted by account takeovers. Law enforcement officials are seeing crypto account takeovers across the country. FBI analyst Ali Kamoli told us these crimes are different from those in the real world in one important way.
One of the difficult things about cryptocurrency transactions, right, is that they're irreversible at that point. So when the attacker withdraws those funds from the exchange, that's not a transaction that you can take back.
How big of a problem is that, the crypto exchange accounts being completely deleted?
It's obviously a huge impact on the victims, which is incredibly difficult for them and something that, we're always looking to help out with.
A Coinbase spokesperson told us it eliminated live chat in early 2020 to avoid those long wait times. But as we continued to ask questions, the spokesperson also told us Coinbase will roll out phone support for account takeovers this month, plus live chat support later on this year. And as for the Vidovics, Coinbase reached out to them by email a few days ago saying the company would not reimburse the couple because the breach on their account was due to a third party and therefore not Coinbase's fault. Tyler?
That third party being the telecommunications company through which they were doing business?
That's correct. Yeah. So the way this works is it's called a SIM swap, in which the hackers get a SIM card for your phone sent to them by the phone company. They do that by calling them and simply impersonating you. If they've got enough of your personal information, they can pretend to be you, get another SIM card sent to them at their address, and then they have access into your phone. They can put that into a phone and then start communicating with all of your apps and your accounts. And so through that method of just simply lying to the phone company, the hackers can get access to your account information and off they go. So there's a real question here about what the phone companies need to do to tighten up as well.
It seems to me that there are two things going on here, and I want you to tie them together if you can for me, Eamon. On the one hand, there is the risk that your account with Coinbase or presumably with other such exchanges could be drained by a hacker. That's problem number one. Problem number two that you point out is a deficit, a serious one at that company, on customer service. What does the one have to do with the other? And if the customer service was better, would the Vinovics have avoided this problem in the first place or not?
Well, the customer service might not have saved the Vinovics, right? Because as you see from the statement from Coinbase, they're saying, look, this hack wasn't to do with us, and so therefore it's not on us to reimburse you. But at least they might have gotten the satisfaction of getting somebody on the phone or a face-to-face meeting at a branch office someplace, which doesn't really exist in the case of Coinbase, to hear that from a person directly rather than this frustrating saga that they've gone through. So that's one thing. And you're right. You do face this risk across different exchanges, depending on how the hackers can get into your phone and whether you've used two-factor authentication and all the other things that you're told to use in terms of securing all your devices. So the risk exists. The customer service piece of it would simply help customers mitigate the damage that's been done and figure out what their options are much, much quicker, rather than a months-long frustrating
time where you don't know. Well, you don't know what's going to happen, why it happened, and whether Coinbase is going to reimburse them. Go ahead, finish your thought, please.
And imagine if this happened at a bank, right? I mean, if you called a bank and said, I've just lost $170,000 that was in my account yesterday, you'd have somebody on the phone right away. There's an entire set of anti-fraud procedures, there's insurance, there's other mature, sophisticated ways of responding to that, because banks have been dealing with bank robbers since time immemorial, and there's a process that's really enshrined for that. In this case, this is an entirely new industry, and when Coinbase talked to us, you saw from their statement there, they're citing the incredible growth that they've had as part of the reason why some customers have had an unsatisfying experience.
All right. Eamon Javers, thank you very much. Fascinating story. We appreciate it.